G'day and welcome to the Inforunners. I'm XQ, joined today by
And
my partner in crime.
hi, I'm Mel Garrett.
You may know
But
me from such episodes as Old Man Hurston. Sorry, it just sounded like that.
now, execute. If I was doing Old Man Hurston, it'd be like this. Not that other young fella.
So today, we just wanted to bring to your attention something that we noticed when perusing the sale mainly. So we are going to have a little bit of talk about this lunar sale. It's not something that we usually go into, but we just noticed something that we wanted to bring to your attention mainly, right? So that's what this episode's going to be about. So I'll flick us over to the browser. And yeah, the lunar sale. I think we'll start with the free cocks. CIG's giving away free cock if you want it. You come in all three sizes. Yeah. There's some roosters that you can get, but sorry, I just wanted to say it that way because it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, so apparently some form of lucky charm.
Yeah.
FPS equipment, what it does for you, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Clearly it's for light, medium, and heavy armor. I'm guessing. I haven't really tried these, but
I'm actually imagining they're just three statues that are different sizes for like hanger flare is my thought, but again we won't know. As with a few of the things we're going to talk about today, they're not actually coming to 318. So yeah.
Yeah. My thought was just the fact that it's a charm or a lucky charm.
What if it's
and there's three sizes.
What if it's a weapon charm? Like it actually like hangs on your weapon.
Yeah. Or
like in other games, you know how you get weapon charms that hang off guns and stuff, like in Rainbow Six Siege and stuff, and they also have it in Hunt Showdown now as well.
I had the thought initially that FPS, it's an FPS weapon, hold it by its feet and clobber someone with it, like a hatchet. But
only Old Man Hurston would think that way. But yes, it's Old Man Hurston in the Lawville with the giant cock.
It's how you take care of cat girls. That's all I'll say.
Oh God. I thought I was bad. Yeah, anyway. Right.
Well, I was thinking butchering them with a hatchet type thing, but that's probably just as bad.
This went awkward real fast. Anyway, right. The other one here obviously is the paints. We were going to talk about this real quickly before we get into the meat of the table of this episode. So these paints, I picked them up, but they're not available in game yet. So you are kind of buying them a little bit blind. But obviously, if you've got the credits, you can pick them up and then melt them. If you know me, red and black are my kind of thing. So these kind of do speak a little bit to me. Me and Agrid were telling you a little bit about them. I'm not a fan of the rooster logo. That's probably the only thing. And in fact, in the video up the top, you can actually, if it loops into it, it does actually show the rooster on the top of the character very, very briefly. But Agrid, you were saying that yeah. You were saying about it's the rooster because in lore that's the year.
Yeah. So even though this year is the year of a rabbit, I'm assuming that because as I go through local city, there's big rabbits and red lanterns everywhere. But in 2953, it will be the year of a rooster, not the year of a rabbit or of a scorpion or a dragon or whatever. So, hence why it's the year of a rooster. Yeah. I think if it was the year of a rat, we'd have had a rat logo. So in a sense, these are kind of exclusive and yet not exclusive.
Yeah.
So it's quite a unique little thing. And as it comes around to a rooster again, but yeah, so that's cool.
I would eventually like it so there was an option so you could toggle the logo off so it's a bit more generic and not so specialized, but I understand why they've done that.
I'd love to see, those logos be part of a decal system. Just because I'd like to see decals. I'd like to see us be able to put nose art and things on our ships. But that's the way it is. The other thing that they've also said with the envelopes is we will be able to keep one. So we'll be able to have one and keep it, and it'll stay over wipe. So that's pretty special in a sense as well. So I don't think they've specifically guaranteed you could have something like that and keep it.
So they've also obviously got the older ones there as available as well, but the actual package there for both is 22 or it's 25. Yep. Sorry, I've got Australian prices up right now, so I'm just converting them back for you guys. So it's $20 for two in American dollars, and it'll be 18.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think that's like 19 in US dollars, but yeah.
Yep. But that 2-pack one, they're actually giving a discount on that as well. So that that's pretty
Actually,
basically getting both of the price of a Carrack one. So
I can't change it back. I'd have to refresh onto another page. Yeah, but it looks like it's $19 for this and $5 for this, and this is for 20. So you're getting like a $3 or $4
you're getting your
discount.
C8 skin for the price of your Carrack skin. And since every Carrack comes with a C8, why wouldn't you get the 2-pack version?
All right, so they are obviously offering some rarer CCUs or ability to certain ships at the moment. The one that really spurred this episode, though, for me and Algrid, was when we noticed this. And it literally says here, last chance before flyable. And
we went,
we need to tell people about this. So when I was talking to Algrid, basically we're working out they only sell military ships, at Invictus. So that means by the time AIE comes around, they're expecting, so that's at the very latest, they're expecting that this ship will be out. And this is the last time they're offering it for sale. So in regards to that, though, Algrid, you found this in the monthly report. So do you want me to read it, or you got it up there?
No, you can read it.
No,
you can read it.
All right, so it says the team also further developed the Miss Hull Sea's interior walkway animations, which syncs with the exterior hull transformation animation. The final walkway will be skinned asset with 10 sliding rings that connects by stretching tubing. That's unlike anything we've had before. That's sick. Like, it's got that concertina thing going, which is really mad. And just to add to that, obviously, we were also saying before the show is, like, I talked to someone yesterday that was completely unaware that the whole sea's been done. It must be like 4 years now, Agrid, surely.
Yeah, well, I can remember when they'd shown the whole sea in engine and that, and the big problem with the whole sea was that concertina effect that
And
the goes up.
The moving grids, because they had to slide into each other, the opening. Like, I think that's the other thing we were talking about too. What spurred this episode on is this is a ship that actually has a lot of tech in it. So even if you aren't buying it, it's very, very interesting because it. Law reasons. You say the law stuff, and then I'll say the tech stuff. So,
law-wise, the whole sea is the most common ship. It's ubiquitous in the UEE. It is that it's the ship you see everywhere. If you run across a hull, chances are it's a Hull C.
Yep.
It's that common. It's so common the Xi'an actually went into an agreement with MISC, so they had the rights to produce it in Xi'an space. And just from a game perspective, that means when we go into Xi'an space and we see Hull Cs, we're not, they don't have to worry about making a brand new Xi'an trading ship, because they can say, oh, well, these are just the Xi'an ships that have been built to the spec. So you can see it saving that development and ship production time. So.
And it's definitely got some, so from a technical perspective, it's definitely got some advanced animations, to say the least, like with the spindles and all that. But there's 3 or 4 different pieces of tech, like we've mentioned, the grid sliding into each other, all the animations. They've had to make that new tubing thing, as they call it, or concertinaing effect. And being a really common ship in the game, it has to be done really well. And so with all those things coming online at the same time, it's an interesting ship to see go in. And the cargo effect, obviously, and now there's a lot of pressure too, because not only does that affect the whole sea, but also there's follow-ons to ships like the Raft as well, because that ship is clearly designed to unload this ship. So there's a lot of moving pieces around the whole series, we haven't even got into things like how this works on space stations as well, because this thing will be a testbed for a lot of that stuff too, I have no doubt.
Well, we see that already. Like with first element we saw of this concertinaing was really on the docking port.
Yeah.
So the tube that comes out, and that was that was one of the things I think they said at the time, that this helps with the tech with the Hull C. We saw it with the Hull A, that same type of idea, but this system that they've actually got, that will directly go across to the Hull D and the Hull E, because they're using the same mechanic, just on a large scale. So again, it's just showing that development in terms of progress of building the ships and where they can go with that. So it's a real positive in that regard. But I when I saw that in the monthly report, and then saw that the ship's not available, last time available. That kind of said to me, the whole sea is that close. It's a lot closer than I think any of us really thought.
Yeah.
So,
So I did set that limit at AIE, but I think we are. I think you're right. I think we are going to get it before then. But I'm, as we sometimes do, playing it
yep,
safe. But yeah,
yep,
I do think it shows that it is a lot closer than we believe. And obviously, one of the things, actually, I mentioned Space Tomato here. Space Tomato did a really good video on gameplay features that he believes that are coming this year, and I think that's another one. Is like adding. He didn't specifically mention this one, but I think adding on to things that we've already seen come, like the cargo refactor. I think is a real big one, and I think honestly, this ship is going to be a big test bed for a lot of that stuff.
yeah.
As I mentioned, the raft and stuff like that, they all kind of link up. There's a lot of cross pollination in there that's got to work.
Well, in Space's video, he talked about the tractor beams for ships
Yeah,
and the SRV, and how important that will be for things like the cargo refactor. And
yeah,
yet, this is just another. The whole sea kind of ties in with,
mm,
with that cargo refactor aspect as well. And so
mm,
you just start joining the dots, and you can see, the stuff that's being hinted at. That's
mm,
but again, I think the monthly report there just shows how detailed the
mm.
information we get in those monthly reports are, and if you don't read them or you're not paying attention to them, you can miss so much.
Now, I forgot to bring this up our grid, so I'm doing this on the
Mhm.
fly. But the whole reason for this episode is the price of the whole sea. So we
Mm.
know now that it's going from concept to flight ready, there's going to be a price increase. So the whole reason for this video is literally just this. Is the whole sea is at $350. Now, if you guys have followed us, $350 is this weird thing where a lot of ships, especially two of our grids and mine's favorite, the Crucible and the
Yep.
Endeavour sit. And so it comes back to that regular recommendation again. If you are even remotely interested in this ship, there's your
Yep.
CCU. And again, that's in Australian pricing, so it's $10 USD. So
Yep.
you,
$10, and you can lock in the price of that whole sea. Now,
mm,
how much the whole sea is going to increase in price? Can't tell you.
that
Bare
is the
minimum,
mystery. Yeah.
10-15%.
I,
That because that seems to be kind of
yeah.
where a lot of them go, but it could go 20, it could go 30.
And
Don't
there's
know.
the money where my mouth is. So I've picked one up, just $10 instead of it. You only need credit. You don't need any cash. So if you've
Yep.
got credit in there, just pick that up and set on it. And if you know you've got to, actually, now I think about it, I probably need to pick up two more.
Mm.
Because I've got a couple of chains there, and this is like at the $350 price point, this is realistically going to jump probably at, well, look at some of the other jumps that have been around that area. The Redeemer went from 275 to 325. Right now, I'm not saying it's going to jump the same amount as that, but I would at least expect $30, right? And
Yep.
and just to give you an idea, the Vulture to Prospect, the Vulture jump is going to be $20, and that's way back down at 150. It usually works out to
Yep.
be around about 10 to 15%, right? So at 10%, that's 35. At 50%, I'm not going to do the math, my brain hurts, but it's more than that. I'm expecting at least a $40 jump there. I would not be surprised if this ends up near the $400 mark,
Mm.
honestly. So if you are looking to save, at least 30, I think you'd agree with me on 30, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, if you go 10-15%, you're looking at a $350. You're looking at $30. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so
yeah.
I'd say $30, potentially to 50, right? Because that's kind of what we've seen before.
Mm.
That, like, to give you an idea, that's what happened with the Redeemer. The Redeemer went to 325 from 265. So that's
Yep.
an even bigger jump. But yeah, so
I've got to be honest. I may have to pick up some of those CCUs myself, because
yeah,
the whole C used to be one of the linchpins in my chains. So if I was doing a
yeah,
chain, I'd usually go through a whole C. So,
yeah.
and then from a whole C go to other stuff, and that was one way.
Yeah,
Back in the day, I used
back
to
in
do
the
the chain.
day, it was a really common one when they came out. No,
Mm.
I don't. I've had a few myself, but I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. And again, that's a bit of the reason for this episode, because People are always looking for a way to save money, and this is the last time. These will only be available for Lunar, and then they'll be off to Scalper Town. So again, or you're looking like in my case, right? If it's $10 per one, I've got to do a $30 investment, and if I turn out I don't use them, I just melt them and they fold into something else. But it's not a lost gain. It's just it's a gain. You know what I mean? It's a possible gain.
A possible saving for a ship down the track, and if it opens up that CCU chain or makes that CCU chain a little bit cheaper for you, and gets that more expensive ship a little bit cheaper for you, then hey, it's a bonus. So
cool. All right, well that's all we really kind of wanted to go over with you guys. We do have one last thing here as well. Is this Friday on the live stream, Algren and I have been kindly, as you can see there, it says giveaway. CIG actually gave us a Pisces to give away for the Lunar. Now, the really interesting thing about this, though, was I was talking to Aaron, I was like, I'll upgrade it to a medical Pisces so we can get to like a new player.
We were both thinking that, weren't we? It's the C8X, awesome. We'll just, great, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we'll make it like new and snazzy. And then it's in C8. You can't buy a C8. There are no CCUs for this thing. They don't exist. So the only way you can actually get a C8 is to buy one in game. So in a really weird turn of phrase, this is a very rare package because you are being given a C8. Now, most people will see you in game and just assume you've bought it. So it's not that special. But again, it does come with Star Citizen and lifetime insurance. But it's not an LTI token. That's the really weird. So it's a really weird thing. It's like, it's kind of cool and rare, but I can't do anything with it. So
that's right. The only other way to get the only way you can get a C8 currently is to be in your hangar all the time is to buy a Carrack.
Yep.
So tune in on Friday for the giveaway because not sure how we'll do it yet, but
actually, I've got a rough idea, but I'll talk to you about that later. Really quickly, just while I'm here, one thing I did forget to mention with these skins, by the way, if you have credit, just pick them up and melt them into your buyback because then you can buy them back at any time. So even if you don't own them, I've gotten in the habit of now because being content creator, I buy 5 of all of them and then I melt them. Because then if someone turns up and goes, I really wanted this rare skin from back in the day, I've got just one there to give people. And there are things now that I've melted for myself personally that I've brought out to give to other people, but that means I don't have an option for myself anymore. So, I've got this CCU to the Cutlass Black and Gold from Best in Show from like 4 years ago. And I've now got people clambering it to want to get it off me because you can't buy it anymore, and it's at the time it cost me $5, but now I had someone offer me a lot of money for it the other day, but I think I'm more likely to give it away than profit off it. But anyway, all right. Other than that, Agrid, is there anything you wish to add, sir?
No. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you want to support us in what we do, there's Patreon, there's YouTube membership, there's the little dollar for buying us a coffee if you really want to go that far. Tell us what you think. Are we off our rockers for thinking that the Hull Sea is so close?
Yeah, let us know in the comments there. Like, are you going to pick any of them up for yourself? Because it could be a little bit of a money saver there. For a very it's low level risk, especially if you're buying it for credit. I would not recommend you spend cash. I will say that straight up. If you've got the credit there, pick them up. Because
there's no war bond discount on this one, is there? It's just a discount. So
So again, if you're a new player, but you're possibly going up, maybe. But don't be annoyed if it turns around and it doesn't bear as much fruit as you would like. But I would assume at least a $30 saving.
Yeah, because we usually see 10 to 15% increase on ships when they become flyable and go in game. So,
other than that, let us know what you think about the free cocks, and maybe even give a suggestion. How do you think we could give that Pisces away? All right. With that, then, he's been Agrid.
He's been Execute.
And we'll catch you next one.